In Hollywood, where trends and public opinion can shift as quickly as the wind, some actors are choosing to step outside the woke mainstream. They're challenging the dominant narratives, standing up for their beliefs, and facing the consequences head-on. Today, we're diving into the stories of these bold stars, those who didn't back down, even when it wasn't the popular choice. From silent resistance to outspoken defiance, let's take a closer look at actors who chose to stand tall against Hollywood's expectations.
Media outlets like Yahoo News quickly mischaracterized this emblem as a white supremacist symbol. The situation escalated when Pratt posted an Instagram update promoting his new film with a caption that many found insensitive. He encouraged people to vote, but subtly hinted at endorsing a specific candidate, leading to accusations of political bias. His decision not to participate in a virtual fundraiser for President Joe Biden further fueled the fire, branding him as one of Hollywood's worst by some social media users. Despite the backlash, Pratt chose to remain silent rather than confront, adhering to prevailing Hollywood norms.
I admire you so much for being open about your faith.
Oh, thank you.
Do you feel like, I feel like you sometimes get shit for that. Do you feel like that's a hard thing?
Oh, yeah, I sure do, but that's nothing new. That's nothing new, you know? If I was of this world, they would love me just like that. But as it is, I'm chosen out of this world. That's John 15, 18 through 20. It's the way it is. It ain't nothing new. 2,000 years ago, they hated him too.
Beautiful, love it.
Chris Pratt, an actor adored by audiences across the globe for his roles in the films Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World, was at the center of a raging controversy in the year 2020. Despite having articulated no political views and therefore never attempting to show an alignment with any political party, Pratt's behavior was what drove the netizens wild. The actor donned a revolutionary-era "Don't Tread on Me" t-shirt, which caused some tabloids to insinuate his supporters of being racist. The argument? Absolutely baseless. But the notion became widespread. Another incident occurred when Pratt opted to skip a virtual event, a fundraiser for presidential aspirant Joe Biden, and that many branded him as one of the worst Chris's in Hollywood. What is, however, most surprising is Pratt's nonchalance. Many would be expected to write long justifications or apology letters, but Pratt remained calm and allowed his works and faith to speak for him.
Nazi Germany didn't start just with people just waking up being Nazis and demonizing, throwing Jews into the concentration camps. It didn't start there. It started before that. It started with propaganda. You had to kind of start urging people to make it okay to demonize your neighbor and to hate people for whatever differences it was. At that time, it was Jewish people.
Next up is Gina Carano, the now renowned actor who started off as an MMA fighter. She was most recognized for her role in The Mandalorian. Carano has always had a strong and loud personality, and this time in February 2021, it cost her job. Shortly after, Carano was subjected to a wave of criticism, most of which was centered on a social media post in which she equated the treatment of Jews in the Holocaust to that of Republicans today. It wasn't long before Lucasfilm went ahead and let her go. Rather than quietly walking away, however, Carano shot back and ended up suing Disney and Lucasfilm in 2024. With the backing of powerful people such as Elon Musk, hers was no longer just a legal battle but a wider fight about censorship in Hollywood and the need for different political views. Although she might have suffered losses in her career, Carano's resolve prompted the return of the question of whether indeed there are different voices tolerated in Hollywood.
We want to become a society of phony, clenched-ass avatars.
And then there's Bill Maher. As the host of HBO's Real Time, Maher has consistently challenged woke culture from the very platform that made him famous. His criticism? That excessive political correctness and identity politics are eating away at meaningful conversation. While many of his liberal peers have distanced themselves, Maher has stayed firm, often making pointed remarks about the very circles he once moved in. Unlike others, Maher's position in Hollywood hasn't been diminished. He's one of the few examples where speaking out didn't cost him his career yet.
Even some of the people in your own party were very disappointed when you didn't close Gitmo. And I thought, I think closing Gitmo, why close that? We've spent so much money on it. But I thought maybe it's an excuse. What do you mean, shut up? Okay.
A name synonymous with Hollywood legend is Clint Eastwood. With a career spanning over 6 decades, Eastwood has never shied away from expressing his libertarian views. Whether it was his 2012 appearance at the Republican National Convention or his sharp critiques of modern-day Hollywood, Eastwood has always been a bit of an outlier in the industry. Even at 93, Eastwood remains influential, proving that age and experience still carry weight in Hollywood's ideological battles.
Those fucking dinosaurs. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and cocks. They're as good as...
And I think that's the important thing, because I've often said that people get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target. Yeah. And they're not necessarily the same thing. You can make jokes about any subject. It depends what the joke is. Yeah. There's no rules. You can't joke about this. You can. You should be able to. You just can. Yeah. Okay?
British comedian Ricky Gervais is perhaps one of the most unapologetic voices against woke culture. His tenure as the host of the Golden Globe Awards became legendary, not for his charm, but for his sharp wit and biting criticisms of Hollywood's hypocrisy. Gervais has made a career out of pushing boundaries, and his commentary on political correctness has often landed him in hot water. But if there's one thing that's clear, it's that Gervais couldn't care less about fitting into Hollywood's mold. His unfiltered approach has struck a chord with audiences who are fed up with what they see as Hollywood's double standards.
Right on. Yes, hit me.
Next to my desk is a picture of a female politician, Bella Abzug.
Is that scary face, funny hat, gap tooth, or Bill Clinton's wife?
Funny hat.
Funny hat.
On the back of it is a key taped to it, and then that opens my bottom drawer in my desk. Get...
What's clear from all these stories is that standing up to woke culture isn't easy. For some, like Chris Pratt and Gina Carano, the consequences were significant, while others, like Bill Maher and Ricky Gervais, have managed to keep their careers intact. Hollywood may be a tough place for those who don't toe the progressive line, but these figures remind us that there's still room for dissent, at least for now. In an industry where image is everything, standing out for your beliefs can make or break you. But it's also these moments of defiance that push the envelope and challenge the status quo. From legal battles to silent resistance, these actors have demonstrated the courage it takes to go against the grain. And as Hollywood continues to evolve, the question remains, how many more will follow in their footsteps? In a world where fitting in seems to matter more than standing up, these actors remind us of the power of personal conviction. Their courage has sparked conversation, challenged conformity, and given a voice to those who feel overlooked. But is it worth the risk? Should actors keep quiet on controversial issues? Or is it time for more voices to speak up? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights into Hollywood's most defiant moments.